insane. Idol worship. Welcome everybody to the Wake Up Call channel. I wanted to do a story about Taylor Swift. As some of you may have heard, this is how insane idol worship has gotten in the United States of America. Taylor Swift was named the person of the year. The whole notion of a person of the year is just utterly ridiculous anyway. But when they select someone to be the person of the year, they're telling you that this is the person that they perceive as the influencer of the year, or the person that they want to be the influencer of the year. You may remember other people in the past, like Greta Thunberg. Dr. F somehow was the person of the year. You might say, how is somebody who sings songs, supposedly sings songs for a living, the person of the year? Well, that's the insanity we're living in. But it's important for Taylor Swift to be the main social engineer. And I want to look at what I've covered in the past, again, in regards to Lavey. Now, for those of you that don't know, Lavey is the daughter of Anton, the founder of the Church of Satan. People forget about the Church of Satan because they're always seeing flash in front of their faces the Satanic Temple. And in fact, the Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple do not get along with one another, maybe because of the fact that the Satanic Temple was created by the government and the Church of Satan. Well, it's not created by the government, but they're one and the same. They just have a little bit of different beliefs. The Church of Satan at least has the balls to acknowledge that they worship the devil, unlike the Satanic Temple who continue to lie about it. I say personally that I'd love to see the Satanic Temple and the Church of Satan fight to the death, literally, and I mean that. But the Church of Satan founder Anton Lavey had a daughter, Lavey, and you cannot tell me that there isn't an uncanny resemblance between the two. Now, there was rumors out there that Anton Lavey's daughter, Lavey, was really Taylor Swift, or a clone of her. But why is the notion of her actually being the blood daughter of Lavey out of the question? Now, why would they do that? You might say, why would they make Taylor Swift, the daughter of someone else? Why would they pretend to stage her with a different family? Because this is how Satanists and witches work. A lot of the times they do stage their children with different families. Thus, you won't be able to connect the bloodlines unless, of course, you speculate with your own eyes. Why? Well, how would Taylor Swift become an influencer of the audience that she's targeting? The audience she's targeting are young, conservative Christians, young, conservative Christian girls. It doesn't mean that there are not liberal girls that listen to Taylor Swift, but that's who they're mainly targeting. That's why she has the cookie-cutter, squeaky clean image. This is what they're trying to push it towards, so that parents will allow their children to watch and listen to Taylor Swift, as opposed to somebody who's more edgy. They might not let their kids listen to Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj is twerking all the time out in public, but they may let them listen to Taylor Swift and not realize that it's really the fundamentals and the ideologies that the celebrities push, they try to infiltrate inside of your home. So in other words, if Christian parents are allowing their kids to listen to Taylor Swift, and then Taylor Swift is out there openly talking about the LGBT, accepting, tolerance, love, thus it's going to spread into a Christian household, which is exactly the point of me doing this video, is covering Taylor Swift, and what I believe is potentially coming is, what's Taylor Swift's religion? What does she believe in? Because all of a sudden she's being propped up more than ever before. Okay, Taylor Swift's been around for a while. Not many people could even name a song. I'm not even joking. I could not name a song except for Are We Out of the Woods Yet? Only because I covered it. I can't even remember some of the other ones. But that one specifically is about the witches coming out of the woods and being, normalized and accepted in our day-to-day lives. That's what the song is about. Taylor Swift, what are her beliefs? What's her religion? And Taylor Swift was quoted as saying that she was raised a Christian, but that she felt real Christian values are not being upheld by current lawmakers who claimed otherwise. This is the perfect narrative and the perfect thing that they do. See, this is a similar theme they do with Katy Perry, right? They claim that she's Christian, raised by Christian parents. Here's the same exact story. So if they told you that Taylor Swift's real mother was Lavey, or if they told you that Taylor Swift's parents were really Satanists, they would not have a following. They would not be able to portray themselves as squeaky clean, and they would not be able to market them towards your kids. This is how they influence behavior. Okay, that's why it's really important. If you put the pictures together, and I'm covering this too because I saw the Person of the Year Time magazine cover when I was out, the video I just recently did. When I was out, I saw the magazine right at the front of the store, sitting there. This exact same photo. You cannot tell me that that's not an uncanny resemblance. Now, you take a look At the photos of Taylor Swift's parents, the ones were told are her parents, or his parents, right? There you can't really see a resemblance. What you really see are just giant hands on the mom, but I can't go into deep detail about that stuff because that's not allowed here. Right? Whatever your belief is on their, the roles that they're playing, if they're opposite gender or not, that'll be revealed to us, I believe, in due time, because I believe that is going to come be brought into the light, and it's going to make people more accepting of a lot of the insane stuff that people are already accepting. But the parents don't even really have much of a resemblance to Taylor Swift. And you could say, well, a lot of people don't resemble their parents. That's fine. That's fine. That's an argument you can make. But I'm telling you is that these are all staged. The celebrities, the whole backstory of a celebrity is staged. They put these backstories behind them for a reason, because that's what people, they go, oh, who are you letting your daughter listen to? She listens to Taylor Swift. Oh, she was raised Christian. Oh, okay, so the church has to accept it because she was raised Christian. Oh, did you know that Katy Perry's parents were Christian? Right? Then you watch how they go from squeaky clean like Katy Perry, and suddenly all their videos are filled with all-seeing eye symbolism, satanic worship, Egyptian symbolism, which is what the road that Katy Perry took. Now we're seeing Taylor Swift propped up even more than Katy Perry ever was. And we're going to see a huge, some type of an announcement, some type of an event is going to occur revolving around Taylor Swift, at least as far as influence goes. But we can see that she's already questioning Christianity, right? She's portrayed as a Christian. She's going, well, nobody out there is acting Christian because Christianity's love. These are the types of things you'll see Taylor Swift talk about and say, right? She's all about love. And if the message of the Bible is love, then Christians aren't doing a good job. People like me, she'll say, of expressing that. And what we need to do is we need to let people who want to castrate themselves into our homes. We need to let our children do it to themselves. We need to let them around one another. And Christians will be influenced by this. So if you look at this picture and you look at the squeaky clean type of stuff they post, People Magazine released an article, who are Taylor Swift's parents? They put out, she was raised on a Christmas tree farm, right? I mean, just playing into like this cookie cutter, clean image is what Taylor Swift does. And you can't deny that there's not an uncanny resemblance between the two. And I think that's one of the reasons that they came out with this story a couple of years ago, which I covered a few years ago. I'm not brand new to YouTube if you didn't know, about Taylor Swift being an actual either clone of Zena Lavey or Zena Lavey herself, just with, going through aging things, wearing a mask, those types of theories have been out there. But it looks really clear that at the very least, these two are bloodline related. I mean, you can't deny that there is an almost identical appearance between these two. And in fact, could Taylor Swift be a clone? Of course. So if Taylor Swift was a clone, in effect, obviously you would need to stage parents with her. And you say, how do they find these? This is how covens and secret societies work. Lights, camera, action, right? I mean, people don't even realize about Obama and his kids. They're not even his kids. It's been documented that they're kids of different people, and you can even see the connection to parents. I'll cover that separately on the website because I'm not going to do it here and get a strike. Because when you talk about Barry, you get a lot of trouble around here, right? But a lot of these people, the parents are always staged. They're always places. So you get a backstory. So then you start accepting, their backstory is this. Oh, this is where they came from. I can relate. But if you had the real backstory, if someone was like, hey, Taylor Swift is the daughter of the church, her grandfather's Anton Lavey, you'd be like, whoa, I'm not letting my kids listen. I don't care how she looks. That's how Christians would respond, right? But it means more to the occult to have these people in these positions of influence over Christians than anything else. You might say, well, why would they need to make her famous? And why did they just make someone else famous? Because they love, first of all, universal law is in play. Everything gets revealed to us, right? That's part of universal law between God and the devil. These things are revealed to us. We see these things. We have to make choices. We have free will. The problem is Satan and his minions use deception with everything. They are the master. Satan's the father of lies, and they're the master deceivers on this planet, on this earth, I should say, excuse me. And they constantly are out here, constantly showing us these things and then making a mockery, right? We're just trolling. And everybody believes it. But if they actually just started thinking for themselves and using their brains freely, which they don't want you to do, you would realize this war that's going on right now, this spiritual war, right? So they love the fact that if Taylor Swift's the most famous person on earth, the most popular person, and the most popular person among Christians, as far as Christian parents who let their kids listen, and the idol worship is through the roof, and then it turns out that she's really the granddaughter of Anton Lavey. Do you know what that does just spiritually to people? Do you know what that does on a capacity level of them and their craft of spell casting over the minds of people. They love this stuff, and they do this stuff right in front of us. And we're just blinded by these things. We're blinded by the deceptions that they constantly throw at us. So they stage families and all these things all the time. A lot of these kids who are famous are born into covens. Their parents are witches or warlocks, are born in covens. They're not even raised by their actual parents a lot of the times. They have no feelings for all the celebrities' kids. You ever hear like with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian? When the kids are born, this is a common thing you hear about. Oh, the kids are underground, they're getting trained and raised. You don't see them for a while because they're not the ones raising them. They're going through trauma-based mind control. That's how they formulate them. When kids are very, very young, okay, like when they're 1 year old, 2 years old, their brains are like a sponge. They're absorbing everything. And that's why they take them at that age, among other reasons of the things they do to them. But they mold them. Right? What do they do with the rest of the kids out in our society? They give them stupid toys that dumb them down. They put them in front of the TV with stupid shows that dumb them down. They learn nothing. They learn no resources. They don't learn, they could already be learning trades at a young age. Not literally like farming, but you can have them out there learning things like that. But we've been taught to, teach our kids all this stupid stuff to keep them dumb while they're doing all this stuff underground with these children, and they're grooming these children to be the next round of handlers. And that's what they all are. So when I saw this magazine, I just was like, wow, it's uncanny. Because the picture you see in the thumbnail, that's Zena Lavey today, like now in the 2020s. I'm not sure if it was taken circa 2023 or 2022. But look at the faces on the two. I mean, everything. It's a matchup everywhere on them. I mean, you would think if I showed you these two that maybe they were even the same person. So potentially there is still a chance that could be a clone. No doubt about that. A clone that's raised with, and people are like, it's so crazy. Yeah, it's a clone. Yeah, because their minds can't they can't grasp this. They just can't. They can't even grasp the fact that cloning is real. And when they do, when you show them stuff, like I've shown Bill Clinton talk about cloning, the dangers of cloning and all this stuff, they go, oh, okay, but they would never do that or use that. That's, they do it on sheep. That's, that's the deepest that they'll allow their brains to think about this stuff. Right? And they would never, it would blow their minds. They would just explode if they actually thought that celebrities were clones or there's doubles and stand-ins. They're living in a completely different reality. Right? They would think that, well, the government's ability to do that, they're just doing it to make more, what are they doing it for? They're going to make more cattle so we have more meat? Because last I checked, they don't even want to see meat. So what are they using the cloning capabilities for? Well, of course they're using it for a lot of these different reasons like this. Right? And stuff is so right in front of our faces that it's all of it sounds crazy. I get it when you first wake up, it sounds crazy. Like there's stuff when I first woke up and I was like, I don't know about that. That might be a little much. And then when you realize that everybody's in them, and you realize the technology that they have, and then you realize and you see how people are propped up. Like, why is Taylor Swift all of a sudden propped up? Remember when Taylor Swift went on stage and Kanye West went out there and everyone said that Beyonce should have got the award and everyone hated Taylor Swift for a short time period. I was still covering that stuff then. Now Taylor Swift just out of nowhere is skyrocketed, where it's like, like I mentioned, there's kids' books of Taylor Swift, adults are wearing the shirts, everybody. So they're like, there's one thing everyone could agree on, that's Taylor Swift's the greatest. And it's like, can you even name a song? Taylor Swift fans coming out saying they get amnesia from the frequencies at the concerts. I mean, there's definitely something to this. Definitely. And I was more skeptical when I first had heard about it because I just said, well, who cares about Taylor Swift? Right? But I always kept it in the back of my mind to remember that about Zena Lavey. When I saw the magazine cover, I said to myself, holy crap, is this Zena Lavey? And I went up to her, I was like, oh, it's Taylor Swift. Of course Taylor Swift's person of the year. Right? Why wouldn't Taylor Swift be the person of the year? When, they're using her to put the most influence, to spellcast the most on the audience that listens to Taylor Swift. And they'll, of course, come over here, and I couldn't care less what they say, and they're right away. It's pathetic. Humans have become very, very pathetic, and it's thanks to a lot of people like this. So I think most people out there would think it's a stretch to say a clone, but you certainly can't argue the fact that these two are related in some way. And yes, I know that all these celebrities are related via bloodline. I've covered it over and over. You got Ellen DeGeneres related to the Queen, Beyonce related to all of them, Johnny Depp. They're all connected via elite bloodlines, right? And people, once they see that, they should start waking up to it. And this is a perfect example. Well, they'll never admit that Taylor Swift is related to Zena Lavey, at least not yet. Maybe when the idol worship gets more and more insane, they'll say, oh, it's a long-lost daughter. But they just released all this information about who her parents are and fake backstories on the parents for a reason, clearly. Maybe because Taylor's looking more and more like Zena. or maybe because there's something coming out soon in regards to how they could hurt Christians even more than they've ever hurted them before with these false idols. That's what I worry about, because I see how Christians respond. I see at the church, they're like, oh yeah, well, my kids don't listen to that. People, they don't listen to this, Taylor Swift. I hear people out, and I hear people. I'm not talking to them as me here on YouTube. They don't know that I do this and talk about this stuff. I try to just pick their brains, see what they're talking about when I say I'm people watching, right? And they're always just like, I always hear about, my kids watch it. I don't let them listen to any of that crap. All those Satanists, like they think that they can identify the actual Satanists because, part of the MAGA movement, they'll point fingers at Sam Smith, and the parents will be like, I won't let my kids listen to Sam Smith. Sam Smith is, flipped its gender or whatever Sam Smith is. And it's an obvious one, right? And then, of course, the alt-right will cover that. You won't hear the alt-right going after Taylor Swift. You won't hear the alt-right talking about Taylor Swift clearly having, clearly looking like a doppelganger here for Zena Lavey, right? You won't hear that stuff. Why? Well, because those are things you can't hear about, and you can't even think that, because that notion's just crazy. Is it? Doesn't look too crazy to me. Looks like identical twins almost. So, clone, maybe. Related, definitely. I thank everybody for being here. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm very curious everyone else's thoughts on it. God bless all of you, as always, and your families.